Today I'm privileged to be interviewing Mr. Jagdeep Kapoor, the Chairman and Managing Director of Samsika Marketing Consultants. Jagdeep is a pioneer in that he is the first branding consultant in India who started his business 25 years ago, and he's been thriving and very successful with clients not only in India but from around the world. Hi Jagdeep. Please tell me about your experience of how you harness the power of opportunity to build your business as India's first branding and marketing consultant.
Well, I was like any other normal guy, finished my MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj, specialized in marketing, took up my first job with the Tatas and worked with various brands and helped build brands and launch brands like whether it be Amul, Rasna, Fruity, Appy and many others, Halls, Listerine. And then I was working with FedEx, the world's largest express courier company. And one day I was invited to give a talk to 300 MBA students at the Oberoi, which is at Nariman Point, which is now called the Trident. And so the organizers had called me as keynote speaker, and they sent me the car. And I have this bad habit that when I sit in the car, I tell the driver, come on, put on the AC, put on the radio, put on the music, etc. Now this was a rented car, and so obviously the organizers had rented it for me and came to my residence, and it would pick me up, take me to the venue and then drop me back. So the moment I got into the car, and so the driver started off, and I told the driver that why don't you put on the AC and why don't you put on the music? And the driver very sheepishly said that the AC doesn't work and the music doesn't work. So early in the morning I got upset and I started pulling him up, yelling at him, etc. Now this was a very smart driver. After about 3 minutes of yelling at him, he says, what's the use of yelling at me? Doesn't make sense. Why don't I do one thing? We have enough time to reach the venue. I'll take you to the owner, and the owner is the one who can set it right. So while you're giving your peace of mind to the owner as to how he should improve, I will go and change the car with the music and AC. So no point in yelling at me, why don't you speak to the owner directly? So I shut up. I said, there's no point in wasting my breath here. So he took me to the owner. The owner was a young, handsome guy, tall, good physique. His name was Chandan Somaya, and he ran a company called Kent Cars. And so when I saw him and I took off, told him, what is this? This is the kind of service you give. Your AC is not working. Your music is not working. I know I am not paying for this car. The organizers are, but what is this, etc., etc. He patiently listened to me. And then in the meantime, in about 10 minutes, the car was changed and the driver came in the other car. As I sat in the new car, the owner opened the door, made me sit down, and then through the window looked at me before I could put it up for the AC to start and said, Mr. Kapoor, do you think you can be my marketing consultant and give me consultancy? So I told him, what rubbish, what nonsense. I mean, you improve your services, improve your car, improve the way you're treating customers. Don't come to me and ask all that. He's saying, no, I'm serious about it because no one has told me all this, and with such analysis and with such clarity as to what I should do and what I'm doing wrong and what I should be doing correct, etc., etc. And therefore I want you as my marketing consultant and you guide me. I dismissed it off and I went off, gave my keynote address, the guy dropped me back, and that was it. After that, the owner kept ringing me up on a regular basis. No, I want you to be my marketing consultant. I want you to be my marketing consultant. And then over a period of a few weeks, I realized that maybe there is something in it, maybe there is an opportunity. And so then I put in my papers. It had to be on a particular day because one has to remember that I gave up my career, my job. 15th August was very far off. the Indian Day of Independence, but 4th July was nearby. So on the American Day of Independence, I resigned and started the first brand marketing strategy consultancy in India. And Kent Cars was my first client, and I positioned him as why rent a Kent, why rent a car, rent a Kent, and it worked out very well. And after that, that opportunity gave me a whole new world, and I realized that if you have an open mind, which I must compliment Richard for having named his company Open Mind, and if you have the power of opportunity, which I must again compliment Richard for having a book called The Power of Opportunity, well, the world is open and you can grow and you can take it to a different level which you would not have thought about at all. So this was my experience, and over a period of time I look back and say that if I would not have grasped that opportunity or had not taken that seriously, so part of it was me opening my mind, and part of it was the owner of Kent Car persisting in wanting me as his marketing consultant, and the doors of opportunity opened. And today I will be celebrating on the 4th of July in 2020 the 25th anniversary of Samsika Marketing Consultants as the first brand marketing strategy consultant in India, having done over 896 clients. So that's my experience of the power of opportunity, and by keeping an open mind.
What advice would you give to aspiring opportunity seekers who would like to be as successful as you have been?
My advice would be very simple. There are a lot of people who do research, and there's nothing wrong with research, right? But I would say there is a simpler way of doing it. Instead of research, why don't you just search? Because if you actually search by keeping an open mind, opening your eyes, opening your ears, observing and listening around you, the world is full of opportunities. But it's up to you as to which is the relevant opportunity for you. Because there could be 100 things which could be done. But what is the thing that you can do and you can do well? So therefore I have a simple formula, and this is my advice, which I call SAMA, S-A-M-A. So if you come across an opportunity, you quickly in your mind filter it. S, is it substantial? Because taking a small opportunity is not going to make sense unless you're a pioneer, like I did in brand marketing strategy consulting. Second thing is it actionable? Do I know how to do it? Because there could be an opportunity, but I don't have the capability. So one has to filter out the others. Is it measurable? Okay, because a lot of times people say there's a lot of potential, but ultimately it has to be converted into action. And finally, is it achievable? And if you are able to filter that, and if you feel that this is something where you would love to do it, then I don't think you should hesitate. You should plunge in, because that is very, very important. My other piece of advice is that supposing you have searched and got a good opportunity and you've started doing well, don't stop. Because in life there are a series of opportunities. And one is you got an opportunity at a point of time, like I got it for the Kent Cars. But there are opportunities which are over a period of time, which is what I call a series of opportunities. There's a whole string, there's a whole chain, and therefore you must constantly keep an open mind, constantly keep your eyes open, constantly keep your ears open, because customers and clients' aspirations, needs keep changing. And if you don't change, then you could be missing out opportunities. Sometimes you do miss out an opportunity. And in that case, then you need to recover that. In fact, in Richard's book, Power of Opportunity, a process has been defined. You know, how to recover, how to be able to discover. And there's a very robust process. So instead of reinventing the wheel, one can, actually have a look and go through that process.
Many people feel that they can't see opportunities properly because they don't have a process. Why do you think an opportunity process is really crucial to success?
In Samsika Marketing Consultants, I have a process. There's a client who comes in with a brand Asha, hope. Then we give them brand Shastras, which are strategies. Then we give them brand Astras, which are weapons to implement. We give them brand Mantras, which are tips. We give them brand Shiksha, which is training. And they achieve brand Yash, which is success. There's a process. Similarly, in Richard's book, there is a process of how do you harness opportunities, how do you discover them, how do you recover them. I believe a process is very important. It's very, very important for you to replicate success. If it's once in a while you've done it, that's okay. But if you want to do it regularly, and I am recommending that, and my advice is that apart from your first opportunities, there are series of opportunities. And those series of opportunities need to be looked at. And if you can look at those series of opportunities by keeping an open mind and observing and listening, then you filter it, and then you are in a position to constantly keep growing. Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to not only start, but you have to continue, and you have to grow, and you have to grow profitably. In fact, very well put also in Richard's book, that it's not only growth, it's sustained growth, and it's sustained profitable growth. So it's an important thing to look at a series of opportunities so you don't get stagnant, and you are in a position to be able to continuously reinvent yourself, because the customer and the client is reinventing themselves. There are new needs coming out. Recently, in the last 1 year, there were a lot of people who kept saying that there is recession, there is depression, and things are not well, and there is a slowdown in India, etc., etc. Nonsense, right? I've had clients from April 2019 to Jan 2020, we're sitting here 10 months, who out of those 10 months, 6 months have grown over 100%. And an average growth between April and Jan for 10 months has been 97%. The reason is my belief, and this is related to opportunities also. Markets don't decline, they shift. That's my brand mantra. So you also need to shift your thinking. You also need to adapt, and therefore opportunities will come up. So my advice is a series of opportunities to be looked at.
Would you agree that the endless change that's happening in the world creates opportunities?
Yes. In fact, the worst situation that you can be is a situation of comfort, a situation of status quo, because that is a sure guarantee of stagnation. You need to venture out, you need to keep an open mind, you need to look at things which you've never done before, and because customers and clients are doing things which they've never done before. And that is the reason there are opportunities. The client I spoke about is Hare Krishna Group, that is Krishna Diamond Jewelry. No one in the diamond industry ever gets paid in advance payment. We recommend it to them. They are the only ones who get advance payment. No one in the industry has grown 100% month on month. We've grown. No one in the industry has actually gone about and given the best with certification honestly in the industry. No one in the industry has given delivery in such speed in 48 hours. So all those things actually were opportunities. And because they were taken up and held with both hands, today it's a fast growing company. It's reached 10,000 crores and growing. So I have a feeling that what you say is right. Change actually itself is an opportunity. As long as you change your thinking and you adapt it. Not for the sake of change, because the client's needs have changed.
I know that you advise all of your clients not to give credit, and often they resist that advice because everyone else in their industry does it. Do you feel that one way of exploiting opportunities is to break the rules, the way of thinking in your industry?
Yes, because what happens is, and to answer your question, all across my clients, and I have no conflict of interest clients. In one category, I have one client. Like in this case, if it's a diamond one, or if it's a toothpaste one, or if it's a garment one. Most people land up giving credit, 90 days credit, 120 days credit. And a bad cash flow situation is the first reason why companies close down. Okay. Now, why I recommend to my clients that you should take advance payment from your distributors or from your customers. The reason is very simple. One is cash flow, robust cash flow. Okay. But the second reason from a marketing point of view is, we all say consumer is God, right? Now the consumer is going to the retailer and paying advance. So when God is paying advance, why the hell should anyone else get credit? So it's a matter of strategy and system, and if you do that, you are the one who is going to grow substantially and profitably and sustainably. And therefore, many a time, opportunities also bring along a change in mindset and also being able to take a risk. Actually, a risk is not something which is risky to the business. A risk may be perceived as something which no one else has done, but it's the right thing to do. So therefore, yes, change is a very, very strong messenger of being an instrument to be able to use the power of opportunity.
What would you caution opportunity seekers not to do? What should they avoid doing?
First thing they should avoid doing is sitting on their backside. Okay, because a lot of people like to wait, and they say we'll wait it out, we won't do anything. Earlier, if customers would walk in, and they still are waiting for customers to walk in, maybe they can go out and get customers, but they won't do that. Many of my clients, I tell them that, you like sitting under a tree and waiting for an opportunity to fall in your lap, like Newton, and the apple falls and you write 3 laws. That's not the way to do it. You'll have to stand up. You'll have to pull your hand. You'll have to pull the low-hanging fruit. You'll have to make that effort. So if for many years in India there was a shortage economy and customers and clients landed in your lap automatically without you having to do anything, things have changed. So my biggest caution is, don't sit. You need to walk, you need to run, you need to search, and there should not be any shame in that. If you want a concept of sitting, make the customer sit down so that the brand stands up. So I would suggest that. And it's a very critical thinking which is important, because most people love to cry. In fact, my next book is Stop Crying and Start Trying. Because if you don't do that, and that's the caution is they don't want to try. Now, it's not because of fear of failure or ridicule, that could be some of the reasons, but it's also because of ego and laziness. That no, how can we do that? We've never done that. But if the customers have changed, all along they would go to a standalone theatre with mosquitoes and torn seats and watch the same film. And today they have changed and start going to a multiplex. So don't you think you should change also? They have changed their habits. India has got 2 segments. One is the aspirational segment and one is the aspirational segment. The aspirational segment is growing. They want better things in life. And for that they change. And marketeers also have to look at that as an opportunity to change.
Thank you, Jagdeep. I really appreciate your insights about your journey of opportunity and your advice for all the opportunity seekers out there.
So, cheers to the power of opportunity.
For all of the opportunity seekers who would like to explore the power of opportunity, I would suggest that you read my book, The Power of Opportunity, or my previous book, Master Opportunity and Make It Big. You can see my videos on YouTube, go to my website, powerofopportunity.com, or follow me on LinkedIn or Twitter.